Well, damn, you sit with that thing? We gotta talk about it. That being your ass. And I bet it's as red as Hunlift because you just keep getting spanked. I'm assuming you know the basics of Gauntlet if you're here. You probably have like 30 to 40 deaths, 0 kills, Snoopy. Maybe your issue is prep. Maybe it's a few common things on the fight itself that's just messing you up. Well, that's cool, it's corrupt. So I'll point you in the right direction, show you how I do my tier 2 armor prep, and I'll throw a couple tips in for the fight. Before we get into this, go ahead, pull up Runelight, and if you don't have Runelight, then I mean that's probably your issue in a lot of things. So type in the Gauntlet in your plugins, and now just activate it, and that's all you're gonna need. It helps you with the resources and stuff like that. There's also one that kind of helps you prey switch by calling things out for you, and if you need that, man, you have bigger issues, just leave. Just leave, please. First route here, we're gonna take a loop around the starting room, which you probably already know, it's very common. Our main goal here is to get 7, if not as many, bark, ore, and cotton as we can in this first go around, along with a weapon frame, because you really need this to go any further. Get some herbs, maybe some fish. You kind of just want to have a full inventory by the time we get back. Prioritize a weapon frame. If you don't get that, you can't do route 2. Go ahead, try to get all of your resources that you can. You need the 7 that we previously mentioned. If you don't get all 7, that's also fine. You can finish those out on route 2, but you want a big majority of those on route 1. You also want to find some herbs, and if you have space, go ahead and fish a little bit. You want a full inventory, and that'll get you a lot of shards. Sometimes these layouts just screw you good, so if you get fucked over by Jagex, go ahead, reset the room, come back in, and better luck next time. Yeah, you can go ahead and try this if you have a resource and a low-level creature nearby to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So see, I'm mining, and then I'm whacking the creature and coming back and forth. Every time you see an XP drop, click on the other object. So there's the XP drop for mining, then I smack on that guy, then I would have clicked back on the ore after the strength XP drop. I'm also a little trash at this, so practice it, you're going to get better than me. It's not needed, it just helps shave a little time if you really have a hard time with prep. Alright, not too bad so far, right? Route 1 should be done. Now you should be able to make a tier 2 bow or staff, as many tier 1 armor pieces as you can, and a vial or 2 is recommended. Now we make as much armor as we can here, so we have less to pick up later on. It'll make sense in a bit. Next, go ahead, drop your resources at the respected areas. For example, ore, cotton, and bark can go at the bowl, fish at the range, and this will save a couple seconds in crafting later. No map needed for route 2, just bring your tier 2 bow or staff, your potions if you made them, I definitely recommend, and a teleport crystal that you should have still. So your objectives are going to be just getting the remaining resources you may need. Shouldn't be too many. You probably already have the herbs. If not, just go grab them. It's not a big deal. Don't get more than 3. Go find your demi-bosses that you like for your weapon upgrades, and do not forget your second weapon frame. Fish as much as you can, and we're going to try to kill 2 medium levels, so unicorns, scorpions, and wolves. I prefer scorpions and wolves, as I think they're a little quicker. Back in the main room, we need inventory space, so go ahead and drop some fish, pick up your cotton, ore, and bark, and luckily we do have less to pick up now because we made some tier 1 armor earlier. Does that make sense? Check how your inventory is doing. If you need more fish or an extra herb, you can try and make a 3rd trip to gather these. Ideally, you will have 1 to 2 minutes left to search around if needed. This will take some practice. If you do have 50 to 60 seconds left, that is plenty of time to quickly make your armor and weapons and cook the fish, as I've noticed I can cook most of it, if not all of my fish, in about 10 to 15 seconds. So pick a spot in your inventory and just keep shit there. So my staff is in the top left. I will always keep it here, so I'm not looking away from the fight to find where I put it. Same thing with the potions. Now if you do that, you kind of have the muscle memory going on, and it's just one less thing you have to worry about in the boss room. Emulate my inventory. I'm assuming if you're here, you're pretty bad at this, so get all the fish you can. Maybe an extra potion. That's just something you're going to need to experiment with. Look, you're not going to get this on the first kill. You never will unless you're like Wooks or something. I don't know. But look, if you get a second, I didn't do it here, but I do like to have the Hunlift somewhere in one of these corners. It makes the last floor phases easier to navigate, making the fight overall a little better. And mechanic-wise, it's the same as normal, so prep's a sprint, and the fight's a marathon, and you're just learning. So keep your HP around 50 to 60. The DPS would be nice, but you're just learning, man, so don't take it too hard. And with tier 2 armor, he won't hit over an 8 unless you miss a prayer switch. Tornadoes will also do reduced damage. And for your first kill, worry about your prayer first, then your surroundings, and then attacking Hunliff. Because if your prayer goes out, you're dead, unless you get real lucky. With the tornadoes in the floor, at least you can kind of recover a little bit easier, and then attacking Hunliff when the tornadoes are not an issue and you're safely away from the floor, this is where you'll get your DPS. So do not attack during the tornado phase when you're learning. You just want to get the feel of this and get your first kill, so try and use these tornado phases as your time to eat and sip potions. And if you're good on switching with Hunliff and you're having a hell of a time with the floor and tornadoes, just fucking stop. Just stop clicking too far out. This can do you dirty. And let's say you click across the room running away from a tornado and the floor changes, you likely won't have enough time to switch direction and you'll get stacked out. So here the green lines are the shorter clicks, and I make sure I get to that corner before I go again. Now you kind of want to keep it 3 to 5 tiles. You could probably do a little bit more, but don't do the red line where you start in the corner of the room and you click to the other corner. While it is still a straight line, you could get messed up by the floor. So instead, do shorter clicks, and what helped me learn was to take my diagonal pathing out and only run in straight lines to not mess up my pathing. Other than that, it's all just practice. You'll die plenty of times before you get the hang of it, but with this guide, I'm sure you'll get the kill pretty soon. Alright, I know that was a lot of information, so I'm going to quickly recap it. Stick around 50 to 60 HP during the fight. Get in your DPS when you're not being chased. Run and eat during the tornado phases, and do not attack Hunliff during these phases. Worry about your prayer first, then your surroundings, and then attacking Hunliff. And for your pathing, click in straight lines, and do shorter strokes. I mean clicks. Other than that, the only tidbit of advice I could give really is the special attack that takes your prayer off here is like a purple or something instead of blue. I didn't think about including any advanced mechanics. If you want those, sure, I can do that later. But for this video, you know, it's really just for those people that want their first kill, that are probably sick of dying, and they're getting kind of angry. You know, they're punching their little discs over some pixels, and you know, that's about it. Don't feel too bad. It took me like I think 70 deaths or something like that on my other account before I finally got this down. So it's why I say it's a marathon, man. Like, this will take you a while. Just keep practicing, and hopefully with this guide it puts you in the right direction. I do think you can complete it. It's not a huge deal, and it's just one of those things. When you do it once, it'll feel kind of like JAD or something, where you can go back and you just keep doing it. You don't get nervous anymore. And if you're sweating over some pixels, man, rethink yourself. But yeah, I guess other than that, just kind of hanging out, you know, just waiting for the video to end. I suppose I don't really know what else to say. Leave a comment if this helped. You know, if it didn't, leave a comment. And if I could do anything better, just leave a comment. You know, leave all those comments, like and subscribe, do that kind of stuff. If you want less pop-ups, let me know. I just, you know, I like a little visual here and there. And any tips are pretty cool. I'm gonna stop rambling, and so I'll see you later. Good luck.